What's going on, YouTube? It's Bella and Jay back again with another video. Before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit that bell for post notifications. That way the next time we drop down fire, you'll be the first to get it. Without further ado.
Topic of today is, drum roll please, black men. Black men. Yeah, you right there, black men. How can we love you better? We want to know, how can we love you better? How can we nurse you back to health? Help us help you.
The reason why this topic came up is because it's not necessarily a controversial topic, but it is teetering along the lines of it. And I believe that starting in certain areas in our life, we can heal each other, right? I can say from personal experience and from what I've viewed in life, black men get beat up a lot. And so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about two particular things. We're gonna talk about a website, or not a website, but a group on Facebook called the Black Coalition. And they posted something called, that somebody put a post up and said, black men, how can we love you better, right? And so I want to give you an idea of how much men are battered. And then we're going to flip the switch and we're going to ask Miss Bella here, what does she think women can do to love men better? And, I'll give some pointers as far as what I believe as well. So just going into the Black Coalition on Facebook, that's a group called Black Coalition. I'm gonna just thumb through a couple of the comments that was left, and that'll just show you how negative people are when it pertains to bashing the black man as opposed to uplifting him. All right, I'm not gonna read anyone's names. I'm just gonna read their comment. Not all black women are the same, so you can't ask such a broad question like that. No one is loved the same exact way. You need to figure out how to love each woman you date as an individual. Once again, this saying, black men, how could we love you?
She flipping around on women. We're not asking about the women.
Man. A black man can stop living a lie and learn to be truthful to himself, and he can be truthful to others. Stop saying you love us and don't. My ex-fiance, when he got caught cheating, he flat out told me he was never in love with me, and it was his selfishness and greed. Please stop forcing conversations and nasty comments on random black women that you don't know in public. And if you don't do this, tell your friends to stop, because they definitely do. The right person will love who's right for them. Okay? Not ask us this question because y'all seem to know how to love and treat everyone else the right way except for us. It's a lot of flip-flop on here, and I believe that I clicked on it correctly. So it did say, black men, how can we love you better?
In my perspective, I just feel like if we're asking black men how can we love them better, I feel like then they should be the one answering the question. In my opinion, I feel like us as individuals, especially the black men, I feel like first, y'all should start by loving yourselves. Putting yourself first to a degree of knowing who you are. Figuring out what's going on with you internally, because sometimes I feel like they have issues of hurt from childhood. A lot of things are still stem from childhood, and things that might have happened to you when you were a kid, and you just grow up with these different things, and it just becomes a cycle of domino effect, and then it's projecting off on women, regardless of what color the woman is. However, at the end of the day, I feel like you need to start with healing. Really deep down thinking and looking at yourself just to figure out where does it stem from. Is it abandonment issues? Is it from feeling rejected? If your father walked out, if your father wasn't in your life, or it could be your mother. If they worked all the time, if they was never there, or if you were, molested or beat, or it's different things. But we, as the people, have to come together to figure out what it is that's really going on. what kind of toxicity was in the house when this black man was once a child, was reared up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't realize us fighting in front of our kids, and then them seeing how we are acting, you know, projects onto them, and they feel like this is how you treat a woman, or this is how you're supposed to treat people. So sometimes us looking at the black man and blaming everything on them, we have to look at us too. We have to choose better. We have to set boundaries for ourselves. We have to realize what it is that we want in a relationship, and not just jump into bed with anybody, or just not jump in a relationship with somebody based on how they look, their title, their job, opportunities. I mean, you know, sometimes we have to look at ourselves and say, hey, are we being opportunities? We can't always be a victim. We have to take accountability for what we doing and how we act. We can't treat all black men the same. Just because one treated you like this, you can't sit here and blame it on them. Like one of the posts that I read, it was talking about how sometimes they have mommy issues, and how the mom can be overbearing, and they can also bring about problems of how this black man might treat you. Well, to a degree, I kind of agree, because I feel like black women, they do treat their sons sometimes like they're their man, and they rear them up like that, treating them like they're their man, and then when
they dress them like the dude that they want.
True, yeah.
In their life.
Right, sometimes they dress them like little thugs because that's what they want or what they're attracted to, or however it is. But I just feel like sometimes women, when we're rearing these little boys up, we can't treat them like they're our men and expect for them to act like, we gotta rear them up, you know, in a proper way that they should go. And when it comes to that, we have to let them be. They can have a good woman in their life, and we have to teach them how to love that woman. I think a lot of it is stemmed from not properly being taught how to love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a cycle of, you know, us not really teaching our kids, because some of us don't know how to love.
So I got a prime example. I was raised by my father from the age of 8 all the way up until I graduated from high school. My father didn't do a lot of talking, but one thing that he did do was when he came home from work, he gave his wife a whole lot of affection, a whole lot of it. All right, walk past her while she's in the kitchen cooking or whatever, and he might smack her on her butt, do something like that. Come up from behind her, hug her. Kiss on her, smooch on her a little bit, make her kind of like do this and be like, stop, go, stop playing, the kid's right there. You know what I'm saying, type of stuff. And he be, the kid's right there, no. You gonna get this.
Really?
Go get this meat right now.
But our kids should see his love,
Exactly. And so the reason why I'm such an affectionate person with my partner is because I witnessed that from him. He didn't have to sit me down and teach me that. The way your kids learn sometimes is not just because you sat down and opened a book and read the instructions to life to them.
It's because
sometimes they do what they see their parents doing. And if you're not doing the right things, guess what they're gonna do when they go out here in this world?
Not the right thing.
They're gonna do the same thing they saw you doing.
Right.
And that's why it's so important for you to not preach to your kids, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. Because there's a lot of parents who out there who will say that. They'll roll up a blunt right in front of their kids, smoking, and be like, you ain't supposed to be out there doing that, but
don't do what I do, do what I say.
Right?
But you've been an example. They watching you. They want to be just like you. Some of your kids really look up to you. They admire you. You're their role model,
And on the flip side, so here's another big thing. There's certain things that my father didn't do. Not pointing finger at my father and saying he's a bad person at all, because me and him are like this, right? But there's some things that I've watched from afar or up close that I said to myself, that's something that I don't want to incorporate into my life. So when I get older and I become a man, I'm going to implement something different in my life, or I'm going to add what he had but make it better. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that my mentality was the way I thought, but ultimately I learned how to love my partner from him. So whenever I'm being affectionate with my woman, you know what I'm saying, I got it from him. Some other stuff that he taught me too, when he was drinking off work one day. But that's an off the camera conversation, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have that conversation with your young boys sometime to let them know that they can't be out there representing you in the bedroom all inappropriately, you know what I'm saying? So
I just feel like, we should uplift our black men more. Give them credit for where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take the pain from your other relationship into your present relationship and project all that energy from you being hurt by Bob and take it to Bill. You gotta give Bill a chance. Don't think that he's cheating and he's doing all these things that were done to you in your past relationship, but then you want Bill to heal when you just brought him down. You just, threw all your problems on him. Cause us, we shouldn't be dating if we're not really healed from whatever past relationship we're in anyway. We need to focus on us, like every individual. You know what I'm saying? So we can be able to love the next person appropriately. That man might be for you. You might have missed out on your blessing by coming into the relationship being traumatized. You know what I'm saying? From your other relationship. So now you deteriorated on the path, and the path is not really where it's supposed to go. But us as individuals, we have to realize if a person is for us instead of wasting our time. Make your list of boundaries. Set standards for yourself. Stop just jumping in bed with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Stop putting yourself on anybody. And then you're mad based on how he's treating you, and you're saying, oh, he want me to do this A, B, and C, and if I don't, then he leaves me for Becky with the good hair. But you have to realize, what were you doing that was supposed to be A, B, and C? You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're Becky.
Cater to your man. Love your man appropriately. You know what I'm saying? Keep him entertained. Don't get comfortable and complacent, and when he come home, you got your sweats on, your hair ain't never done, you probably ain't even get up and wash your ass and brush your teeth. Like, let's be for real. But then you mad at him because he's looking for Becky with the good hair. But what are you doing to keep him?
Sometimes I want to touch on what you was talking about. I don't care what nobody said about the word hate. I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, and I'm going to use the word hate. It's in the Bible a lot as well. God hates in the Bible. So I ain't going to sit here and say, I'm not going to say the word hate. Hey, I hate hearing all men are like this. All men do this. All men look at a female when she passed by at the beach. All men look at females in Walmart. All men got a little side piece just in case the main thing don't work. All men cheat. All men lie. When I hear these things, these are red flags to me. This makes me look at you as a female like, you're not ready to be in a relationship. And I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 steps back away from you, because there's something in you that you need to try to process and get together. That'll be just like, I've been cheated on before. So if I've been cheated on before, I can sit here and say, all women cheat. All women are liars. All women are deceptive. You know what I'm saying? But I don't do that.
Right.
You have to be able to wipe the slate clean. Secondly, what if you bring that negativity to the relationship, right? And that dude's already dealing with some stuff that he's not really dealt with.
Right.
He's not equipped to deal with all the stuff you just dumped on top of him. Maybe he's just now finishing handling whatever it is that he was trying to handle, and then he's like, hey, baby, and you like, bam, I need you to take care of all of this right now because I'm unstable.
Right.
I'm about to blow up. I'm
you can't expect for your partner to, heal you or to deal with all the things you've been through in your past. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to heal yourself. We have to value ourselves. Even before getting into a relationship, we have to know who we are. If you don't value yourself or you don't love yourself, how can I expect you to love me? So, like, as a black man, I feel like they have to first love themselves. They have to first appropriately know how to do that, because if they don't know how to love themselves, how can they love you? How can they be here for you the way they supposed to? You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what love is. They don't even really know. So of course, if you with a man that don't know how to properly love you or love themselves, then of course they're gonna cheat and do all these other things because they're insecure and they're looking for something to fill voids. And that's where
having that, like, you have to like over exaggerate your line of communication. Like, nothing says that you have to be quiet. Nothing says it. Like, sometimes you're gonna get on your partner's nerves about how much you talk, but you're gonna appreciate that at a later time when you realize, I've never had this type of established connection with a partner. You know what I'm saying? And you could be talking about anything. You can talk about how you used to play with Legos when you was 5 years old and get into it, and then be like, I remember one time I got my ass whooped because my daddy stepped on a Lego, and then it spills into some stuff, right? Ultimately, that's how you open up with your partner. You can start out with something silly as hell, but then all of a sudden, y'all talking about something deep. And as long as you're willing to receive that message that your partner is sending to you, you know what I'm saying? Just be open. Don't be impatient. Have some patience when it comes to your partner. Be selfless. Don't always be the person who wants to talk and dump your problems on them. Sometimes just make the whole day, when you wake up that day, just say, you know what, I'm not going to talk about myself at all. I'm just going to take whatever they say and I'm going to listen to it.
Right.
You know, and ultimately, if you can do that, then what'll happen is you'll find out that you're establishing a much closer bond with that partner, to a point to where you do feel like you're best friends. You do feel like you're her therapist, her friend, her therapist, her physical fitness coach, her doggone pastor, her sexologist, everything.
Right.
Everything that she needs at that moment, you could be that guy. Just flip the switch. Babe, what you need? You need to cook? Boop, I can cook some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or you need me to yiggy, boop, I can flip that switch. Oh, you want me to read the Bible to you? Boop. Okay, I could be pastor. Okay, what? Oh, you need me to take care of the kids today? Boop, I could be a father.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have all of those different toggle switches within yourself, so that you can change to that person at any given moment and take care of whatever that thing is. So communicating and having that open barrier, like not a barrier, like drop your shield.
I challenge you women today, all women, I challenge you to ask your partner, if you're in a relationship, ask your partner, how can you love them better? You know what I'm saying? And then listen to what they're saying. Don't tell them the things they're not doing. Don't tell them the things that you don't appreciate. Just listen to them. Ask them, how can you, as their woman, love them better? And then try to implement those things and listen to them.
And if it's a lot of information, hey,
Record
open
it.
your phone.
Record it.
Notes.
Make
Be
notes.
old school. Pen and paper. Write it down. Don't say nothing when they're talking though. I'm going to challenge that. When they start talking, if you feel like they're touching on something that's rubbing on your nerves, okay, it's not just you. All right? If it's sizzling your spirit just a little bit, that might be the one thing that you can like focus on to change within yourself that'll make your relationship so much better. Maybe you'll realize that that person wasn't the problem. It was you.
And let me say this from a lesson. Because, you know, when we come to this podcast, we talking to y'all based on lessons. So a lesson, I'm going to tell you this. So if you ask your partner, how can I love you better? And they say, it's nothing you can do, babe. It's perfect. You perfect. Everything is good. But you know deep down inside your spirit that your relationship is not perfect. You know it's things that can be fixed, because if it was perfect, then certain things in your relationship wouldn't be happening. Then he's not the guy for you. I'm just going to be upfront, because he's probably doing whatever he's doing and he don't have time to tell you. And you probably are a good woman. More than likely, you probably are. So that's probably why he's saying that. But
even if he gonna say, babe, you know, when you cook that meatloaf, you know what I'm saying? You don't use enough seasoning. You know, I'll be out.
You gotta be open-minded. Like, receive everything that he's saying. If you want to be better and you and your partner want to, you know, communicate better, then, you know, you have to be open-minded to whatever they're saying. Constructive criticism. Take constructive criticism for what they're saying and what they're giving you, because, well, because if you can't listen to do better, and all you doing is making up excuses for everything they say. Like if they said, oh, you know, when I ask you to wash my clothes, and I only want you to wash white clothes, but sometimes you lazy, so you want to throw in other clothes, but then they fade the clothes. So now he's telling you that, and you're like, but hey, you know, you could just, like, you got all this other stuff to say.
I'm just trying to like get it all out at the same time.
Right.
That's gonna cause
or if he's
an
telling you, hey, you know, sometimes I like you to cook my favorite meal, or I need you to put a little sugar in the cornbread, but everything they say to you, you got something to say back. Like, that means that you need to take accountability for what you're doing wrong, because they're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to talk to you, you know what I'm saying? But you're not listening. But then when he's looking for bacon with the good hair, you know, now you're mad. Now you're mad. Take accountability. And I'm not saying with them looking for another woman is right, because it's not. But at the end of the day, you gotta uplift your man. You gotta try to implement certain things in your relationship to make it better. You can't always be looking for somebody to cater to you and your needs, but you're not doing the same. You can't be looking for somebody to go out and pay the bills and do A, B, and C,
and then come home and flip the house upside down,
right?
And play with the kids and put them to bed and feed them and change them and shower them, and then come in and
putting that on you. You expecting for this man to do everything, but then you
ain't doing that.
Then we want to complain and say that our black men aren't good.
Then still complain because he ain't doing enough.
Right. We do have good black men out there.
And Teresa man down the street, he do this and he
And
do
you
that.
should never, ever. I'm telling you right now, I'm a woman, but I'm not a man, but I'm telling you as a woman. So look, I'm not a man telling you this. You should never compare your man to another man talking about what somebody else man do, how somebody else man dress, how somebody else man treat them. Worry about you and your relationship and with your man.
How you get his haircut, how you smell. Oh, you should smell like that.
Cause you beat your man
Hold on,
down right then.
wait a minute. Let me flip the smell switch in my body so I can smell like him. You should get smacked. Some of y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all should get smacked.
So if he smack you, that's a right.
I'm not gonna smack you. I'm not saying that dudes, you should smack your girl, but you should get smacked for that. Another woman should just come out of nowhere and just fly by.
Hey, what's going on?
It's mine, Daddy. Noah keeps taking away from me.
Noah, give it back.
No.
Noah, give it back.
No.
I said give it back now. Noah!
Larry, what the hell is
Just fly by and smack you for saying some crazy stuff like that. She really should. And
we have to be mindful.
She shouldn't even have to tell you why she did it.
But we should be mindful of the things that we're saying and we're projecting out into the universe, because certain things that we say can tear our partner down. Certain things that we say, we wouldn't want them to say that to us. What if your man came to you and was like, oh, I seen Bella J, you need to do this like Bella J, you need to do that like Bella J, blah, blah, blah. You ain't gonna like that, are you?
Yeah.
No, you're
because
not.
maybe in his mind, or maybe in her mind, she don't want to be like Bella J.
She wants to be like whoever she is.
Whoever her idol was when she raised up. Some girls love Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
So they have like Marilyn Monroe posters all on their wall,
right,
and little quotes and stuff that she does and says, and that's like who deemed that to be correct.
Yeah. Or for your partner to say that. So at the end of the day, you gotta realize that your partner is your partner, and it might be some things that they can tweak, or certain things that you don't like, but that's where that open line of communication come in, and everybody has to be receiving of that, because at the end of the day, that's not gonna feel good when your man is comparing you to somebody else and telling you. And if your man do that, because if your woman do that, you need to say, hey, go be with Mark down the street that's doing all this other stuff, because I ain't the one for you.
Go let Mark cut your grass and wash the car like you like it, and come in here and paint the wall and change the faucet and all of that.
When you said that, it's like really something just went off in my head. Okay, sometimes I feel like the men that we're looking for, or I'm gonna say y'all is best, are looking for. We already know by looking at that man, like the man who paying second down, man with all the gold chains and baggy clothes, and he 40, 50 years old, and he dressing like a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Those are the men that some of y'all run out the behind. Y'all don't want to talk to the lame, the one that took his shirt in, the one that's, yes ma'am, no ma'am, opening chair. I mean, my fault. Y'all don't want to talk to the
real man, the grown man.
Yeah.
The one that was raised
because
right.
some females look at those dudes like lames. I'm just being honest. They be like, that's a lame. It's a no-brainer.
But that's they stupid ass for doing that. Guess what? Mark Zuckerberg don't walk around with Gucci or Prada. He don't walk around draped up and dripped out.
I don't think it's necessarily about the brand. I just think that the man that's not gonna put his hands on you, the man that's not gonna call you out your name, the man that's gonna open up your car door, that's gonna care about your needs, the man that's gonna compliment you all the time, the man that's not gonna have the wandering eye, the one that's down for you, that listens to your problems, that really pay attention. Y'all don't want them men. Like, let's be for real. So when you talk about that black man that you're saying all this negative stuff to, like in the comments of the things we seen, you're not talking about the black man that's really like that. You're talking about the scrub that you chose.
You're talking about the ones that you've experienced. Okay? Because this is the real. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
What it is something that you find aesthetically pleasing, and you probably got it from your friend that you was in high school with, because your friend thought that this was cute. Oh, he's so fine, girl. So now you've grown to like that. Or it might be an auntie of yours that might kept bringing some dudes over by the house, or your mama, or your grandma, or whoever.
Right.
Ultimately, you grow to learn these things, these physical attributes, and these different accessories, and the way the dude got his swag or his drip, or how he rock his clothes, and the way he talk, and this, that, and the fourth. And you found that to be attractive because somebody pushed that idea onto you. Okay? Or if you're watching TV, and this, that, and the fourth, and you see that imagery every day, all day, in
Right.
music videos, and TV shows, and movies, and things of that nature, and you're like, damn, he fine, damn, he fine, I wonder what he can do with me, and blah, blah, blah. And then when you get that dude, one that you most definitely fell for aesthetically, right? He looks just like you like him. You grabbed him, you got his attention, now he focused on you, you focused on him. And then you realize his dirty ass ways. He throw his dirty ass drawers in the corner. It's got boo-boo skid marks all on him, and this, that, and the fourth. He stink. His house stink. He smell like trash. All he do is play 2K when he come home. Tell him, baby, can you put your credit card on my PlayStation so I can get some bucks, so I can buy some stuff for my player, and things of that nature, right? You go, he dropping you off at work in your car, so he could ride your car right
Some
home.
men that get up and work, and they nice looking men, and you know they provide for the family, but yet they still, you know, scarred and you know,
In the
toxicity.
head.
You know,
But that dude right there, the one that you chose, you look at him in your head and you say, I can change him.
so you know another
But there's
thing.
a dude.
You know another thing I challenge y'all to, for the single ladies, not the ladies that's in a relationship, but the ones that's single. Think about this. So when that man come up to you that you know that nobody probably really wants to give him credit or really look at him like that, I challenge you to go on a date with him, get to know him, listen to him, and stop just looking for the man that everybody wants. Because honestly, me, you know, I can't say that I'm different, but me, I don't want the dude that everybody wants, that everybody look at like that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's a good man out there that people been sleep on. He's a really, really good dude.
And he just waiting for that one woman.
Right. They can add a lot of value in your life. But yeah, you looking for all the wrong things in all the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? You're not even in the right place. And I'm not saying church is the right place.
Because it ain't.
I'm not saying that going out to eat or these dating sites, you know, for each its own, for wherever. But all I'm saying is stop looking at how somebody look. Look at how they treat you on a date.
This is what I want to touch on. If you know what you're looking for, don't look for nothing outside of what you're looking for. Or if you entered into a situationship looking for that one thing, it can't change to something else. Because that lack of communication will break your damn heart. All of these different dating sites.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I done logged on to one or two of them, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I see on here. And this is gonna make you flip because you say you ain't never been on it
I've
before,
never
right?
been on a dating
So check
site
this out.
ever.
This is most females. Oh, I'm God fearing, I keep God first. My babies is first in my life. Hold on. So first of all, God first, your babies first. It's only one number one. Who come first, God or your kids?
Right.
See what I'm saying? So that's strike one.
Yeah.
Second thing that they say after those little things right there, I'm from here, I'm this size, woo wop woo wham. I'm not size as far as how big
Like,
they
why
are.
does that matter? People really put
And
that.
then they show pictures of themselves, right? Of course, so check this out.
Yeah.
If the
Body
woman is,
pictures, right?
Yes, body, and if the woman, no, body pictures if she got a nice body.
But if not, it's just
If
like
she ain't got a nice body, it's like this. Up in the air.
These duck
And this
lips.
is the angle with the duck lips or the face all out like this or whatever. And she showed just her breast and it covers up to her stomach because she knows she wide as hell right here and she don't want nobody to see that.
Right.
So a whole bunch of pictures will just
But I
be
think
either
that you
heavy.
should let somebody see who you really are so they can really
Exactly.
choose you if that's
That's
what they
the
want.
problem.
You know
The
what I'm
problem
saying?
is you go on a date and you see that woman and you see that she wide as hell down here, got 4-5 rolls down there,
They
and
trick
then
you.
you be like, but she had a cute face. She had a cute face with the long hair and everything. And every picture she took, it was angled right and right? Then they say, I don't want no man that's this and that. So if you just looking for a friend with benefit or a quick little one night stand, then you can just swipe to the left. Woo, and always
That
saying that.
attitude already bad.
Yes. It's like,
How can you attract somebody with that attitude based on what you saying in your profile?
You already
Like you
pushing
already,
it away.
exactly. You already got your guards up. You already talking negative. You know.
exactly. It's like, you know, or I've seen it to where it's like, if you got kids, swipe left.
But you got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing that I don't like when a woman like, oh, I gotta have a man with 6 figures or plus, but yet you ain't even making 10, 20, but yet you looking for all these things. So my thing is, it needs to be where you uplifting yourself to the point where what you looking for. Don't be looking for something that you're not.
You know how they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you in the wrong room. If I'm in a room full of people trying to teach me how to be a millionaire, and everybody in the room has never made $1 million, I'm in the wrong room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you take that mentality, take it into dating. You as a woman, if you walk into a room full of men who are blue collar men or even white collar men, right? White collar men or blue collar men, you know what type of job, what type of career they bring, what type of cars they drive, you know what type of drive they have as far as their life goals and things of that nature. And then you approach them, and you approach them with your list of requirements. Be realistic with your list of requirements.
I don't think like how much somebody makes should be like.
Oh, it's a cutoff point for me.
I'm not saying you should want to talk to somebody that's broke or can't really bring anything to the table. That's not what I'm saying. Or it has bad credit or whatever it might be. But all I'm saying is sometimes we can miss out on our blessing, because when you're looking for somebody that makes 100 figures, you can find somebody that's in like 50K, right? And they credit like, but you are really good with credit, so you can build their credit up. Or they don't really dress like how you like, but they're open-minded for you to swag them out on the things that you like that's appropriate. Not you don't want to dress like really good, but you want to dress like a thug. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So because you not being open-minded, because he don't have all A, B, and C of everything that you're looking for, you're just like, eh. And I know some of us feel like, well, he a grown man. I'm not trying to.
He's like, what?
And I know some of us are like, well, I'm looking for a grown man, so I don't want to have to get him and teach him how to dress and teach him how to figure his credit out and do all these things. And yeah, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, like I just said, you could be missing out on your blessing. You know what I'm saying, too? Because this is a good man. Like, it is the man that's going to open your car door and do all these things right. But he might be lacking in certain areas.
That man could be bringing some patience to you. That man could be helping you raise your children the right way, in the way that they should go.
Right.
That man could be fearless and make sure that he's a protector of that house. That man could be a hard worker if he's placed in the right situations.
Right.
Like all
he
of
had
these
a right
different
woman
things.
behind him.
Exactly. To motivate him and not tear him down.
Exactly.
So that is the focal point. Put yourself in a position to where you can find the right man for you, and then when you see all of him within his whole entirety, flaws and all, when you see those flaws, you say to yourself, can I work with that? Not because, ooh, he got a tattoo all over here and his body is nice and woo.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're not looking for that man to be your man because of what he looks like.
Right. That's what we messed up in, though. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying before, I was really interrupted. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, let's be open-minded and care more about how we really can uplift our black men, how we can really be there for them. The men that want to be there for their kids, the men that want to, you know, be in their kids' life, or the men that want to really be there for you. Allow them to be there for you, your kids, or whatever it is. Stop because you're mad at the man and y'all no longer together. He has a new boo. You want to keep the kids away from him, but yet you expect for him to be better. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that we can do as individuals, but we're not here within ourselves. So that's how we don't know how to help black men be better, or even listen to them on what they saying on how they want to be better, right?
That's a good thing right there. As far as like, even after, you know, because black men, just all together, even after the relationship is over, you have to, if you looked at these great things and these great characteristic traits, even if your relationship didn't work for whatever reason,
right?
Maybe somebody cheated, you did, or he did, or whatever.
Right.
Ultimately, y'all don't have to be enemies forever. Yeah, you might be salty that he cheated on you, right?
Be happy to learn.
But at the end of the day, if you know he a good dad, he take care of his responsibilities, you put him on child support or whatever the case may be, and guess what? He paying. He might miss a payment or two from time to time, but he's still diligent.
Right.
And these things of that nature. Stop getting an attitude with him.
And causing toxicity to you, him, and the kids.
Exactly.
You know, it's not even worth it at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be trying to fight your battles anyway. You should allow God to fight them, because nobody can fight them better than God. And I also want to say that it was like a point, like my kid, like I'm not gonna have you forget. Remember by doing it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what I wanted to say was, so our black men have been like beat down from back in the day, like ancestry days, from them, their wives being taken away from them and raped. Right. they was powerless. They couldn't do nothing about it. From them wanting to protect their family from back in the day, and they couldn't do nothing about it. From you know, them having to fight against each other for a position, or them having to tear each other down because black lives, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But how can we want people to say black lives matter when we not even being here for each other and loving each other and taking care and protecting each other? You know what I'm saying? We turn each other down. So we need to, as a whole, start uplifting each other, start being here more for each other. And when we find out something and we know something that can help the next person, we should not want to keep it for ourselves. We should be open-minded to tell the next person to help them and their family, to help them grow. So, like, we as women, like, we seen where the black men can go in there and get medicine for our kids back in the, you know, slave days. So we had to go in there and sleep with them to get medicine from the master for the kid, where the black man couldn't be what he needed to be. But yet
or
now
else he was gonna die. So now when that woman goes back to that little hut that they got, that little one-room hut, and she got the medicine for her baby, in her mind she's thinking to herself, I don't need him. He can't do what I need him to do.
We've been
to
conditioned
provide for that
to feel
man.
like that
So
our
now
whole life.
I'm an independent woman now.
Right.
I don't need you. Get out of here. And then, next thing you know, old John beating feet, trying to run to the next plantation. And he ends up dying anyway. So now your child is fatherless. It's a sad cycle. It's a sad cycle.
Right.
Ever since we got off this ship, we've been conditioned to hate each other.
Right.
To divide and conquer.
Right.
Let's stop that progression of that.
Right.
And let's start building with each other. Choosing the right mates for ourselves. Procreating with the right person.
Right.
Staying in that relationship. Fighting through the hard times and making sure that we can make it so that child can have a dual parent household.
And as the mother and father, let's start loving our kids right now. Let's release all the toxicity in the house, yelling at our kids, disrespecting them, because just because they're a kid don't mean they don't need respect. Talking to them crazy because we're bringing them up, and that little kid that we talking to is going to be a black woman or a black man one day. So that's how we can start, by loving each other better right there with our kids. It starts with the kids, putting love into the house, loving your kids, complimenting them, telling them how special they are. When they have good things going, don't always look for the negative. Don't always, you know, pester on the negative, because none of us are perfect day-to-day life. We all have flaws, but you can uplift your children for them to want to do better. So if you was told every day that what you was good at, that makes you more want to be good at it because you're being complimented for it. So think about that when it comes to your kids. Of course, we want our kids to be better and smarter than we were. But the way some of us moving around, how can they? We're not even giving them a chance.
You setting them up for failure before they got the chance to. You're the teacher in their life. In their life, you're the teacher in their life. And you have the answers to the test before they even take the test.
Right.
Are you going to give your kids the answers so they can study them?
Right.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
And that's just a portion for, like, you know what I'm saying, just you as a person. You're raising black men.
Right.
Get it together.
Stop acting like your son is your man and teach him. If he doesn't have a father in his life, teach him the proper way on how you would want to be treated as a woman. That's how I look at it. Not as if he's your man, but you know, he's going to have a woman one day. He's going to be out here dating in the dating scene. So let him know he shouldn't hit his wife or his girlfriend or whatever it might be. Don't allow him to hit his sister, his siblings. Make him open the door for you and his sisters. Start instilling stuff in your son right now that's appropriate.
Because chivalry is not dead. You just choose to believe it is.
And even as men, not us, but even y'all as men, start opening the door more. Start being more of a gentleman. Start treating your lady.
We're going to do that later.
Okay, so I'm just saying, women, if a man can't treat you like a lady, and like the way you saw it, that's one thing I can't agree with the Steve Harvey movie. Mm-hmm. Make him open the door. Stand back. If he ain't open the door, just stand there.
And then he just drove off.
Okay, and turn back around and go to the house.
And then he was like, I'm just glad.
Or even if he can't come open your door, sit in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Ooh, I teach my daughter this off top. Let me tell you something. I told her, if you call and the dude come by and say, hey, I'm outside,
or blow,
and he can't go beep the horn for you, and he can't come and ring your doorbell, knock on the door, and speak to your parents while you in the house, he's a no-go instantly.
Right.
Because he ain't being taught in that household. So what else is he being taught on a negative standpoint? dodge that bullet altogether.
Request to be treated like a lady.
Or be treated like whatever he want to treat you like.
It's all about you at the end of the day. You make your life decisions. So, that being said, we'll catch y'all on the next video.
We'll catch y'all.
Leave some comments in the comment
Once
box
again,
below.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Until the next video, we out.
We out that thing.
Look, mama taught me the ropes before puberty hit. Immunity, my truancy splits. I'm as true as it gets. Provide you with hits, I deny you the fits. You think your lyrics matching my weakest bars? Nigga, you higher than shit. Splitting your ligaments, verbal assault, drive-by. I can see the devil's plans, beholding it with God's eye. My pops cried in secret when the government sent me to fight. Made him think of losing his seed for the rest of his life. This is that moment when destiny strikes. Comparing that blaring sound of trumpets for him. Scour the earth to find me a wife. There's not a woman scorned. I bet there's not a woman born. Your Honor, I rest my case, cause it join. I'm the equalizing factor to the game. A terrible two-tiler ripping your portrait out the frame, fouling out of bounds. I spit the illest verse, they applaud me without a sound. For the Gouda, I leave you Swiss cheese without the rounds. Name a better bar spitter, let me stop you right there. Any name you proclaiming, I'm flaming. Ask if I care. These niggas squares in a circle of people playing giant Jenga. Irony, you claim you king when you a defiant creature. I'm more like a father figure. You see my defining features. Either that or be Mr. West and start designing sneakers. Reciting ether since Nautica, coats and trapper keeper. Snatch the baddest bitches cause they had the best attractive.